Greetings, gamers. You know, I've told some stories about myself on this channel already before, but now that I've gotten a few videos out that I actually half like, I thought that this would be a good time for a sort of checkpoint and answer some viewer mail. And before we continue, I'd just like to say thank you to anyone who's left a response, or joined the Patreon, or even just left my videos on in the background. All the support recently has been really heartwarming. So, without further ado... Okay. Noah, my friend Kirby, friend of the channel, asks, is animated storytime your main goal for your YouTube career? Oh my god. Or is there another subgenre like animated playthroughs or something like that you'd initially want to do more of? Kinda, yeah? I've been drawing for as long as I can remember, and I love video editing. I know that animation is really seen as like not feasible on YouTube anymore, but this is kind of the only way that I want to present myself. And clearly I don't have the time and money for like full animation, but primarily I made this channel to chronicle bits of my life, and that's kind of what the story videos have been. I really like looking back at what I say in each video and reflecting on how I feel during the time that I talk about, and then also remembering where in life I was when I was making the video itself, because when I started making more of the story-oriented videos for the channel, I was like still in college. As for animated playthroughs, the Nuzlocke was kind of like my first swing at that, but I think I bit off a little more than I could chew. Ironically, a big animated Nuzlocke was the idea that I was the most excited to pull off for a long time, and I only started it once I thought that I had the capacity to stream the challenge to completion and also follow through on making the according video. But when it came to hitting a lot of the goals for different parts of production of that, it really started to bog me down, and I started to fall out of love with the idea. And I think half of that is just me pushing myself to make an hour-and-a-half long video, and the other half is just a lack of experience. Essentially, I'd love to do one of those again, but it might be a while. I don't know. I have like my next 3 videos lined up. Anonymous Reader asks, what is your favorite primate? Oh my god, we had a weird guy in class in high school who was obsessed with capuchin monkeys. And I had my public speaking class with him, and he did a presentation on them. Like, he got up in front of the class and talked about capuchin monkeys for like 7 minutes. And he was a super nice guy, but it was a really funny obsession, and I think that I've always liked them the most since then. Who do you main in rock, paper, scissors? Rock, easy. It asserts the most dominance, and it's not about winning, it's about sending a message. Errol Venn, friend of the channel, asks, what is one thing you really wish someone had told you when you started animating? Probably just to keep it as simple as you can while conveying your idea. It's really, really easy to overestimate your abilities when you start, especially if you're someone that's already been drawing for a long time. A ton of people that I went to school with, or that I knew that wanted to get into animation, started way too strong and wanted to have something similar to like anime right out of the gate, which is just not feasible for one person. A lot of people don't know this, but I actually do 99% of the work myself on every single video that I come up with. I usually come up with the idea and then I write it out, and if I like it well enough, I'll record and storyboard a little bit and just animate from there. I've had friends do thumbnails and others do drawing cameos, but unless someone else is literally in the video, that's about it. That's also why they take so damn long. Night Doge asks, why do you sometimes draw the double eyes, in parentheses eyebrows, and sometimes don't? That is a good question. I'll just use this chance to talk about my design on the whole. So I used to draw myself in a way pretty similar to this, but when I wanted to like buckle down and start making story videos, I decided that like I needed a clear-cut design to spearhead the branding for this channel going forward. And I have a lot of friends that are VTubers, so I looked over a lot of their work for inspiration, but you know, nothing really caught me. And in school, I really liked making pieces with like a collage aesthetic. And one day I was drawing on my break at my last job at like an office supply company on a shitty piece of paper. And I thought, wait, what if I just do this? And now it's all over my YouTube channel and my Twitch, and I've just tried to take the office supply / collage aesthetic as far as I could. Oh, but the eyes thing. The idea for the design is that my body is a cutout of a paper doll, right? And then just whatever is drawn on it is the expression, which allows for a lot of creativity. The double eyes, or as I call them, the 8 eyes, are there just to be like the most neutral possible expression, kind of like a substitution for like an empty-minded face of stupidity. Like they aren't meant to be eyebrows, but like representative of unfocused eyes. And as far as the rest of the design, I think at the time I was just really obsessed with the Chainsaw Man manga, and I wanted to use the button-up shirt, but like rolled up sleeves look to sort of represent the attempting to look nice, but actually being scuffed nature that seems to come through on everything that I make. Anonymous asks, what are your favorite and least favorite parts of editing? I'm going to assume that these were submitted by the same person. Honestly, my favorite parts are the eureka moments of going like, wait, what if I combine these 4 elements together? Will this joke come across? And then after the video is posted, getting a comment like, oh, that was really funny. And when you're as slow on production as I am, I think it's really easy to lose sight of your initial ideas and not know if anything you wrote like a month ago is going to be funny to someone a month later from that point. And as for my least favorite part, it's definitely recording. It's absolutely recording. Not that I even hate the sound of my own voice in videos, I think that I've gotten used to it at this point, but it's annoying to sit down for a recording session that goes for upwards of an hour and then listen back and you hear, oh, maybe the AC was too loud and you have to turn it off to record, or maybe the neighbors decide to start stomping mid-session, or maybe you go over the footage and half of it sounds so bad that you have to go back and do it again. That's how it was on the last video. If you notice like really bad or different audio quality on some of the scenes, it's because I had to do like 4 or 5 or maybe 6 sessions. How do you come up with video ideas? Honestly, I've had like a million ideas for a few years on things that I'd like to make that come from, I think, just being permanently online. The first thing that usually goes through my head for ideas is, will my friends think that this is funny? And then I run it by them and maybe make like a pencil test, and then I go from there. Other than that, I have ideas for things that include like vlogs or collaborations with friends down the line, and like a ton of other life stories. Anonymous asks, do you like ska music? No. Why are you so cool? Depression. Would you rather have unlimited bacon but no video games, or games, unlimited games but no more games? I don't have the copyright on this. I don't think that I can answer that. What is the derivative of 2x? I don't know. I went to a fake college. How did it feel when your buying things as an adult videos started blowing up? Honestly, I was kind of astounded and annoyed. Out of the 3 story videos I did back to back, I thought that the concept was the weakest, and all the way through production, I was like, oh, no one's gonna like this. But I guess I was wrong. I got a lot of comments from people saying, oh yeah, I relate to this. I bought this, and this to help me get through the lockdown. And the more of those that I read, the more my mind kind of opened to it. Of course, it's really easy to say that I wish everything I made got a ton of views and I made like $1 million off of everything. But that was one of the first things that I had made that I got like a really heartwarming response from so many people. And even a lot of people started sharing stories with each other in the comments. Like there were full-on conversations going on. And that just made me really happy to see in the end. But also like, comment, and subscribe. While most of your work that I've seen has been your editing, I do really like your art style for the various drawings you've done for your videos or on Twitter and such. How long have you been doing art, and what got you to start doing it? This is a really specific question for an anonymous ask. Who are you? For those of you who don't know, when I'm not working on videos for me, I'm working on videos for other people to help keep the lights on, and it's really fun to get to know people of different walks of life and like different philosophies when it comes to content creation. As for me, I've been drawing fucking forever. Like, I've always been drawing like Dragon Ball and Pokemon characters in my notebooks at school, but it was high school where it really took off. We had a lot of classes that taught Adobe software, and I took to it really, really easy. And I had a myriad of art classes available that were actually hard and not just like completion grades. I was always like the drawing friend in my friend groups in high school, and my high school art teacher was really, really good. Like, she knew how to give and how to teach constructive criticism, and was really good at teaching a lot of the discipline that comes with wanting to take art seriously. In college, I was really good at getting genuine laughs out of the students with my presentations, but my goal was always to make my professors laugh. And when I got that, I knew that I had like a really good joke or like timed the editing of a sequence perfectly. It's really fun to chase that feeling and try to get emotional responses out of people. I don't know if that answered it all right. I really like getting a rise out of people, I guess. Julia asks, is water wet? No, being wet is the descriptor of having water on you, a solid object. Water is one entity and cannot be on itself. It cannot be wet. Anonymous says, I don't have a question, but I just wanted to say that I enjoy and like your videos, so thank you. Well, I asked for questions, not compliments, so this is going straight in the trash. Julia asks, what is the meaning of life? Julia, you've asked like 3 dumbass questions, and I'm probably recording this at like 3 a.m. I don't have time for this. The answer to this and the first question were both tits, by the way. Help a Memer asks, what would be harder to animate, a fight scene or a dancing scene? This is really dependent on like a million different things, like how many people are in the altercation or like what the song is. But if I had to give like a flat statement, it's probably harder to animate a fight scene? Because at least in my head, the idea that a dance scene is always on a beat will always inform where you need to put the arcs of your action. But with a fight scene, it's kind of just... Do you have any favorite games or anime? Ironically, I haven't watched a lot of anime in a while. I think the last one that I watched was Chainsaw Man, or like a rewatch of Space Dandy. Those are really big favorites. I grew up watching a ton of Dragon Ball, though. I'm a really, really big Dragon Ball fan. My favorite game of all time is The Wonderful 101, but I also really like Metal Gear, Resident Evil, Devil May Cry, Legend of Zelda, and a ton of fighting game series. My favorite movie of all time is Persepolis, with Fantastic Mr. Fox being a close second. I think my favorite show of all time is The Boondocks. I really like King of the Hill, Midnight Gospel, and the Clone Wars, but I don't really watch a lot of TV. And just for something extra, some of my favorite creators are Alex Lennon, Seadog VA, Maximilian Dude, Cosmonaut Marcus, and Alpharad. Axe asks, hey Mr. Willworks, thank you for letting me borrow that Lambo last night on such short notice. I really appreciate it. You the best. You're welcome. What is your favorite part of the content creation process? Of the whole process, probably writing or drawing frames. Probably because one is the beginning of the realization of a project and the other is the end of the realization. And I used to hate writing, like in high school, until I had like a really good creative writing teacher that I guess just magically got through to me. And now I feel like I'm pretty good at channeling my ADHD into putting my thoughts on the page. And lastly, a lot of people asked this a lot of different ways, but the most common question that I received was, what inspires you? Now, of course, this is super open-ended, but I think that one of my strengths when it comes to things like this is that I've just had a really weird, wishy-washy life so far. I grew up on a farm, so from a pretty young age, what I would do for fun would be like go outside unsupervised and walk cornfields and play with stray dogs, and we would hunt deer, or I would help clear rice fields. But despite this very explicit country upbringing, I really hated a lot of the like rural southern country type culture, and I knew pretty early that it's like not something that I wanted for myself. And when I was a kid, I was into pretty standard boy stuff, you know, like superheroes and Star Wars and Pokemon, which, you know, you carry with you for a long time. So I had a lot of those things that I liked at a young age, but my home state also had a lot of like nature. We would regularly go on hikes, and we also had a lot of museums with actual professional art that I started to build an appreciation of. And like I said, later in life, I liked making drawings that would like make my friends laugh, and I had a lot of good art teachers that fostered a good professional practice in me. I think if you're trying to get into an art field of any kind, whether it's illustration or writing or otherwise, to have a healthy diet of pop culture interests and also like historical art, there's a museum near where I live that I would regularly visit to clear my mind and find something new to think about as like a jumping off point between school projects. I'm also fortunate enough to have surrounded myself with a good group of friends who I love and, you know, have their own creative endeavors that I'm happy that I get to see them grow and that I get to share ideas with. Sorry, I know that the ending was a bit of a ramble, but the TLDR is to try new things, surround yourself with people that have different creative endeavors than you, and to keep a level of practice that you have the capacity to keep, and not just something that will make you hate drawing. Oof, okay, I think that was a good amount. Thank you to everyone who's watching. This was really fun to make. I have no intention of stopping anytime soon. Thank you to my $2 patrons who should be on screen right now. And thank you extra more so to my drawing tier patrons. I always have a ton of fun making these. I stream my work on everything that I make on my Twitch channel, so please make sure to follow me there. Follow me on Twitter for my daily meltdowns, and other than that, I don't know, like, comment, subscribe, call your mom. Bye-bye!